What if I told you that the ending of Half-Life Alyx doesn't create a new branch of time at all? The Half-Life universe is one continuous reality, and Alyx Vance is the proof. Think about it. At the end of episode 2, Eli Vance dies. In Half-Life Alyx, he's alive. The easy answer is a branch timeline, but I don't buy it. Alyx frees the G-Man, makes a deal to save her father, and then steps right back into the same reality that we already knew. This theory explains why we, as players, both experience Eli's death and his survival, and it changes everything we think we know about Half-Life 3. And Alyx isn't the villain here, she's the key, the one character to show us how the G-Man bends time into a loop. But before we can show Alyx off as the proof, we need to rewind back to Black Mesa to see how the G-Man first revealed his control over time. In Half-Life 1, we step into Gordon Freeman's shoes, a 27-year-old MIT graduate with a PhD in theoretical physics. He's just another research associate at Black Mesa when everything goes wrong. An experiment with the Zen crystal creates the resonance cascade, a tear between Earth and the border world of Zen. Aliens flood in, and the military shows up, not to save anyone, but to erase the evidence. And Gordon, a scientist with no combat training, fights his way through both aliens and the soldiers, until he finally defeats the Nihilant, a creature that was holding the rift open. But here's the kicker. That Zen crystal, it came from the G-Man.
When he brought in that crystal, I knew I should have aborted that damn test, but I didn't. The whole world went to hell that day.
That means the G-Man caused the cascade, set Gordon on his path, and indirectly caused the Combine to discover Earth. After the Nihilant falls, the G-Man freezes Gordon mid-step, dragging him through surreal battlegrounds and delivering a cryptic monologue. He makes Gordon this offer: work for him or die in a
battle you have no chance of winning.
And canonically, Gordon accepts, going into stasis. This wasn't just a job offer. It's proof the G-Man doesn't just manipulate events. He manipulates time itself. And if he can do it with Gordon, he can do it with Alyx. With the death of the Nihilant, Earth's protection collapses. Here's where a lot of players miss the nuance. The Nihilant wasn't just a random boss monster. It was the last of its kind, enslaved, terrified, and in its own way, trying to shield Zen and Earth from the Combine. Why enslave the Vortigaunts? Why send them to Earth? It wasn't for cruelty's sake, it was survival. The Nihilant was buying time, but once it dies, Earth is wide open for the taking. The Combine catch wind of Earth and invade, and in just 7 hours, humanity is conquered. 99% of people are either wiped out or enslaved. Survivors are herded into fortified cities under Combine control, with civil protection, humans who sold out their own kind, keeping order. And this is the world that Alyx grows up in. By the time of Half-Life Alyx, she's 19. She's clever, scrappy, already fighting alongside Eli and Russell, and most importantly, she has hope.
Look, this guy we've got in there survived Black Mesa. He raised holy hell and then just disappeared. We finally caught him and you're just gonna let him go again? Move the box!
Survived Black Mesa, then disappeared. Eli, they do have a super weapon.
God damn it, Russ, they got Gordon Freeman.
When she learns that the vault might contain Gordon Freeman, the one-man army who survived Black Mesa, destroyed the Nihilant, and fought off both aliens and military soldiers, she lights up. But here's the twist. The vault doesn't hold Gordon, it holds the G-Man. And this is where Alyx unknowingly becomes living proof of a single timeline. To understand why Alyx matters so much, you need to understand the Vortigaunts.
I have a brain injury.
Oh, I'm sorry,
My
Dan.
brain is injured.
That's terrible,
Ow.
and I hope...
Now these are not just background allies. They're a hive mind, connected through something called the vortessence, a consciousness that spans not only space, but time. Past, present, and future are one to them, and they're the only beings who have ever countered the G-Man directly that we've seen. At the end of Half-Life 2, when Gordon and Alyx blow up the Citadel, G-Man stops time. He's attempting to bring Gordon back into stasis for use in a future date, but the Vortigaunts stop him. They literally rip him out, stealing him away from the G-Man's control. And here's where you can see that the Vortigaunts have created some sort of barrier between G-Man and Gordon. And so the G-Man is no longer able to control Gordon. And that essentially puts the Vortigaunts on G-Man's level. If we imagine a hierarchy of power within the Half-Life universe, humans would be at the bottom, Zen lifeforms would be above that, Combine advisors would be above them, and then at the very top, from what we know so far, it would be G-Man and the Vortigaunts. Equal, but opposite. The G-Man manipulates reality for his employer's purposes, whereas with all the vast knowledge that the Vortigaunts possess, the same as the G-Man, they choose benevolence. And Alyx? She's the rope in their game of tug of war. The one human who reveals how the G-Man's timeline manipulation really works. Now, let's go back to episode 2, where Alyx is fatally wounded by a hunter. The Vortigaunts rush in to save her, pouring everything into healing her. And while they do, the mental shield that they've put on her, the same as Gordon, slips for just a moment. In that instant, the G-Man slips in. He planted a message directly into Alyx's mind.
Relay these words. Prepare for unforeseen consequences.
Later, Alyx repeats those exact words to her dad, Eli, without even realizing. And that's the smoking gun. Alyx isn't evil. She isn't plotting against Gordon, but she's already compromised, long before the events of Half-Life 2.
I should have known when he rescued her it was for his own damn reasons.
When I plucked her from Black Mesa, I acted in the face of objections that she was a mere child and of no practical use to anyone. I have learned to ignore such naysayers when quelling them was out of the question.
This moment bridges her deal with the G-Man, the episode 2 cliffhanger, and the paradox that proves that there's one timeline. In Half-Life Alyx, the loop tightens. She thinks that she's breaking into the vault to save Gordon, but instead she finds the G-Man imprisoned by the Combine. She frees him, and in return, he offers her the same deal that he once gave Gordon, but under different circumstances. The thing is, Alyx isn't Gordon. She's younger, more hopeful, more desperate to save her father, and she accepts. And so the G-Man rewrites reality. Eli's death from episode 2 is undone. To Alyx, it's a miracle. To the G-Man, it's just business. And here's the key. I don't think that this creates a new timeline. Eli doesn't die in one world and live in another. He both dies and lives in the same timeline. That paradox isn't sloppy writing. It's the point. Half-Life isn't about multiverses. It's about one continuous loop. And Alyx proves it. Other franchises tell us that changing the past creates branches. For example, you can look at Back to the Future, or Marvel's multiverse, etc. But Half-Life flips that logic. Alyx doesn't create a new branch. She folds into the timeline that we already knew. Eli's death and Eli's survival aren't separate universes. They're the same reality bent by the G-Man's interference. And that's why Eli's post-credits reaction in Half-Life Alyx is so furious. He isn't shocked and he isn't confused. He knows exactly what happened.
Prepare for unforeseen consequences.
What did that mean exactly? Alyx shows us. The G-Man knew that Eli was gonna die, and the G-Man knew that Eli was gonna survive. He knew, and that's why he told Alyx to send him that message. And the Vortigaunts? They've always known. Past, present, and future are one to them. That's why they're able to resist the G-Man. And this is why the theory works. Half-Life has always been one timeline, and Alyx is the lens that finally reveals it. So what does this mean for Half-Life 3? It means Gordon won't just fight the Combine. He's going to be forced to deal with the timeline itself. Alyx is going to be both ally and pawn of the G-Man, and Eli's going to remember his death and his survival. The Vortigaunts are probably going to help fight to pull Alyx free from the G-Man's tight grasp. And Gordon, the player, you'll finally realize that Gordon's not the only one that the G-Man took. Alyx was part of the plan all along. That's the conflict that Half-Life 3 has to resolve, not just the end of the Combine, but the end of the loop. So here's the theory in one line. Half-Life isn't about branching universes. It's one continuous timeline, where life and death, freedom and control all happen at once. Eli both dies and lives, Alyx both saves her father and carries the G-Man's influence, and it all happens in the same reality. The real question is, in Half-Life 3, can Gordon finally break that loop? Make sure to drop your theories in the comments, let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with, and subscribe if you want to see more Half-Life deep dives before Valve finally breaks their silence.